from the manufacturers in bulk in 50 kg packs, and then we repackage it into in 1 kg, and then sell it to the wholesalers and the customers. And the last process is the uh, cleaning and filtration of food grains.
Okay.
So we clean it, and then we resell it. So these are the three processes.
Okay, understand. So that is kind of little bit of a processing you do on the procurement that do. And do you sell it with your own brand or the existing brand as it is?
No, we do it in our own packaging. So for the
Okay,
trading, it can be in the same brand because it doesn't matter. We don't add any value to it. But in the
right.
other two, we do it in our own brand.
Okay, understand. So that's the core business. And
Yeah.
as of today, are you using any systems? You might be using Tally or
No,
something for accounting.
no. So this is a new division. We are already into manufacturing of pulses. We have two different units where we use pack.
Okay, all right. So currently then for this division, you're not using any system as of
No,
today.
it is a newly formed company. So the
Okay.
machinery is getting into place. So now we are looking at the HR and the software and all.
Okay, understand. Okay, I will share my screen, and
Okay.
I think I'll try to focus on the relevant things in
What
your
will be
case.
needed?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking more at the inventory and accounting solution more than the production basically.
Okay,
I,
yeah. So
yeah,
okay, got it. So inventory, accounting, and maybe the purchase and sales around it.
yeah, correct, exactly.
Yeah. But and the production you're not looking for anything which is, say, suppose you what is consumed and what is outcome. The production part you're not looking, right?
No, not looking at it.
Okay, fine. All right. You can see my screen.
Uh, yes,
Okay,
I can
yeah.
see us.
So I will log in into this, and before we begin, let me introduce about this. So we are Google Cloud partner. Uh, so Google provides all the
Okay,
infrastructure and lot
for
of
you,
software parts uh,
for you.
required for this software product. Okay.
Okay,
I'll log in with this.
okay,
And choose this business. You can have a multiple businesses managed in this.
okay.
When you log in as a user, and if you have access to multiple businesses, you see the earlier screen. If it is only one business, then you directly come to the home screen like this.
Okay.
So once you are in, on the left hand side, we have various modules. Like first module is the approval management module.
Okay.
Uh, this is used for example, somebody creates a purchase order for your supplier. That
Yeah.
purchase order can go through one or more approvals,
Okay.
reviews. So that can happen here.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
and this is valid for all documents, like even a supplier invoice is being booked in the system. You want somebody to review it before it goes to payable accounts.
Okay.
Okay, so that kind of various approvals can be set up and managed. I'll show you one approval in the demo. And then we have an accounting module. Full basic accounting can be done here till GST, P&L, and balance sheet.
Okay.
Then we have a purchase management module where somebody can raise a purchase requisition that can go through approval. Then purchase order can be created.
Created. Correct.
Various reports can be taken. Then we have a CRM and sales module.
Okay.
Uh, so CRM is where probably where you do the new customer discovery, and so you can say, for example, you get inquiries, you can report the inquiries.
Okay.
You'll have an inquiry database. You can convert inquiry into quotation. You can send
Then
quotation,
quotation into sale. Yeah.
deals, and all that can happen. And then it will lead to this sales module where you have invoices being created and all that. So
Okay. Just to break you once in the CRM module,
yeah,
for example, I've taken demos of different companies also. So just I wanted to ask, because other people don't have this featured in the CRM. So
Okay.
CRM works around the sales team. Okay,
That, yeah.
correct. So
Yes.
every day, the sales team gets their lead. They start their day. They finish their day. The whole process is there for the day. That is basically CRM.
Right.
Now, so will I be able to see a day-wise report according to the sales agent in CRM in your module?
Yes. Yeah. We'll come to that. So if you enter the activities, then yes. But
Okay.
we have CRM for record keeping purpose rather than tracking the salespeople. So it is not from that perspective.
It is not from that side. So
That perspective.
I got what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And then we have a full-fledged inventory management with multiple warehouses and various abilities to create GRNs, ship stock items from one warehouse to another,
Okay.
put the consumption of inventory. If you are processing the product, that can be done there.
Okay.
And you can see all the ledger reports of inventory out there with
Okay.
minimum stock, maximum stock, valuation, etc. And then we have other modules, like this is small module for supply chain management related stuff where you have distributors, sub distributors, and
Okay.
then of course production. Probably you are not interested in this.
Not interested in that.
Yeah. But going forward, suppose if you want to track, uh, suppose you create, you do a little bit of processing, but you want to track that processing, from which
Okay.
supplier what material came, and then what we package raw material, at what cost we purchased, what is the cost of our processing. So that can be done in future. Then we have a payroll management system here where we
Okay.
can have the basic salaries. You can upload the leaves and attendance details, and you can get the salary slips out of it,
Okay.
and various reports around. Okay. Then there are small modules like task management. Who is working on what, kind of. So this is
Okay.
probably what tracking related part. Who is doing what task and all. Then we
Okay.
have expense management. It's a expense module which can have an online approval. People can submit, approval happen, and then it goes to accounts as payable.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there are small modules around like the support management, project management, quality management. So what I'll do is I'll focus on these modules, these 4-5 modules here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in the system, what you can do is like you first like setup part. You have a number of users that use the system. You can create them one by one or upload them using Excel sheet.
So is it multiple users or how does it work?
Yes, it is multiple user. It's completely cloud-based solution. That is, it runs on the Google's cloud platform,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we pay as per the users usage in terms of
Okay.
user.
Okay. So the pricing will be based on per user.
Per user per year, correct? Okay.
User per year. Okay. Fine. Fine. Got it.
Right. Yeah. But then you just log in and use it day to day. You don't need to take care of servers, backups, etc.
Yeah. So will I have the authorization control basically for
Yeah.
different users?
That's what I was going into. So suppose I am an admin, I can see all of this. Suppose this user, I want to give some limited access. So I have ability to change his password, and then manage authorizations. I
Okay.
click on that. For this user, now I'll be able to say he can see accounting or he cannot see accounting.
Okay.
Or if he sees accounting, can he see P&L and balance sheet?
Okay.
So this way you can give the access or take out the access.
Correct.
Yeah. Suppose somebody
Okay.
is in purchase, you'll only give a access related to
The purchase.
purchase. So yes, you have a authorization. So when they log in, they can access what they are allowed to access.
Correct. Okay.
Okay. So that was
Yeah.
part one. Next, next we will begin with. So you do issue purchase order to your vendors, or how you directly purchase?
Yeah, I would need purchase order as well as sales order.
Okay, great. So then I'll begin with a purchase order now.
Okay.
Suppose, okay, and before that, let me explain the items also. Within the inventory, if I go, I have something called as item master. So
Okay.
here I can create various items. So I'll open one item here. So I can give atom a name.
Yeah, yeah.
There is one automatic number generated. I can have a barcode for that atom if required. And item code, model name, what is my purchase price, what is my sales price,
Yeah.
that I can specify for atoms. Then what unit of measure I do it, what is their movement, whether it is maintained by batch ID or automatic ID, etc.
Okay.
And what is the movement method? So FIFO is the 99.99% first in, first out method.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then what category it belongs to, whether, and then I can create these categories actually as per my requirement.
Okay.
Okay, so I select a category, I can specify a few additional detail, what is the GST applicable on that, HSN code, etc. Okay, so
Okay.
and then the additional details can be added, like you can create additional custom fields if you want to store additional details.
Hmm.
Product images can be uploaded. And once you create your atom master, so this is the initial step, that you create all the atoms that you buy and sell, and
Yeah. That's mandatory.
yeah, that's mandatory, that's a one time activity.
Yeah.
And once you create this items here, then we are ready to use these items in purchase orders, invoices, etc. Okay, so
Okay.
suppose now I have some items created here, I'll jump on to creating a purchase order. I go to the purchase
Okay.
order. And do you use the concept of requisition? You may not be using right now, but
No.
normally, yeah. So normally what happens that the department where the material is required is different than the purchase department. So there is a purchase requisition coming to that. Okay. So we'll begin with the purchase order. That would be okay, right? Mr. Vidit? Hello? Your voice, your mic is on mute right now.
Oh shit, yeah. My headphones just got disconnected. That's the reason. Yeah.
Okay, fine. All right. So I was saying we'll only begin with a purchase order. That will be okay, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what you do is you go to the purchase, and suppose you click on a purchase orders. You can see all existing purchase orders here. You can
Okay.
search, you can open existing purchase order, you can create new purchase order, you can search by supplier, etc. Or you can search by various statuses, like whether pending approval, or approved, etc. Closed. So what I'll do is I'll create a new purchase order from here,
Okay.
new button, and it will give me ability to create a purchase. I already have a supplier and customer master. The moment I type a couple of characters, it will show me the matching supplier.
Okay.
Okay, so I select supplier one here, and then do I expect a material, selecting a due date, I can pick up one or choose the due date.
Again, can it be even less than 7 days?
Yes, yeah, it can be less than 7 days. I can pick up and say I want it today itself, February. I want
Okay. You can pick the particular date from the calendar.
correct. Uh, you can predefine your bill to ship to addresses in settings, and they'll automatically come like this. You can have a different bill to ship to addresses,
Correct.
and you can change. Okay, and here are the line items. So what happens here, you noticed I type couple of characters and it will show me the available supplier list. Same is here. The moment I type the name, it will show me all items available. So suppose I'll select this item, I need 10 quantities, and if you have an agreed price with the supplier, it will automatically come here.
Okay.
You can define a purchase. We have something called as price list, supplier price list. So you can define the
Okay.
price list there. And So there is whatever 5% GST on that. You can go on and add as many the 100 quantity, 150 quantity. This rate, if required, I can see the previous 3 rates from various supplier. I can see the rates. Okay, and condition will automatically come, but if needed, I can edit as per this video. So I think with this creating a supplier, choosing the items in terms and condition and saving this in draft mode will save my first purchase order. Now you can create quotations, pro forma, invoices, and there are some common steps. So the way we did it will be the same. Hello?
Yeah.
So there are some common steps. I went back to the purchase orders and I can see this, the purchase order created just now. It will have its number.
Yeah.
If I open this, I can see that existing purchase order, and we also have something called as approval defined on this. So
Okay.
that is optional. If the approval is not defined, I don't get submit button. So what I'll do is I'll send it for approval. And before approval,
Okay.
there are a couple of common things I'll explain. You can attach the file. Suppose supplier has given quotation, you can attach that quotation as a copy. Quotation copy can be added on top of common files like PDF, images. This is a common feature across different this. You can have different versions of that purchase order or quotation if you have. You can print and see that quotation purchase order for it. So I can read this purchase order. This is how it looks like. This is a customizable format.
Okay.
Logo, and normally a GST format purchase order that would look like here.
Okay.
This is the purchase order. So what I'll do is I'll submit for approval now. And I say yes, continue. So the moment I can keep saving the purchase order in draft mode as long as I am updating it. But once I'm ready for approval, I can send it back. And now it says pending approval, and everything is freezed. I cannot edit it until it is comes back to me. What happens now? I can see one more tab called as approval details, and here it shows that it is pending approval by
Purchase manager.
and I can click and see who is the purchase manager. And once it is approved by purchase manager, conditionally it can go to the higher levels depending on the amount of purchase order, like this. And you can set up it as per your requirement. And let me show you this, because this is very important part for controls. I went to the setup and I'm showing you how I did that approval setting. Okay, I went here and purchase orders. Like I have a purchase order here, and I can set up the approval settings on that. So what I did was, I'll just remove and show you how it is. Say I go and set up, say I say first level is level 1, approval should be done by purchase manager. Okay, level 2 approval should be done by another role called as CMD. And then you can provide define an approval also. It only applies if the purchase order is greater than 10.
Okay.
So this is how I can set up multiple levels of approval as per my requirement.
Okay.
Okay, and these roles also you can create as per your company requirement, and you can assign the people to role and remove role people.
Yeah.
So this is how approval management
System work.
yes, can be set up for all kind of documents. Suppose I have supplier invoice that getting punched into this. I can do the same approval on that. So this is the supplier. I can have a, even I send a quotation. It depends on your requirement. So now I have approval set up. The approval went. Whenever approval is submitted, alert comes here for that user if he is logged in. Also, an email is sent to that user for his approval.
Okay.
Okay. So let me show you one approval email, how it looks like. Yeah, say this is how it is. Say I get a notification from system in the email saying this purchase requisition is assigned or approved.
Okay, by this person.
Yes, and this email will come to user. So you get an alert whenever approval is assigned to you here as well as in the email.
Okay.
Okay, and then that user will log in and click on my approval. He will see everything pending for his approval. That's what that approval module was for. So if
Okay.
I click here, now I'm an admin, so I'm able to click on all approvals and I can see everybody's approval here.
Okay.
That is a good feature. If somebody is outside, that person can approve it on behalf of someone. So I can see this purchase order is pending. This is 45 purchase order we just created. 45 number is pending here. As an approver, I can look at that PDF document from here. What
Okay.
is the purchase order is for? I can open and see any attachments available on that purchase order. Like I had a attachment added, one logo was added there. I can control view, etc. I can see the previous, if there are multiple approvals, I can see their comments when they approved it and do they have any comments on that.
Okay.
And if required, I can reassign it back to any another user. I want somebody else to uh, take a look before I approve it. I can do that randomly here. Of course, you have a setup done once, but randomly you can have a additional reassignment to users.
Okay.
And then you can send it back. Finally, you can send it back to the approver saying, please update terms and conditions. You can reject it. You can approve it fine. So I'll just mark as I'll approve it. So once that purchase order is approved, again, it will go to the next row. If it is more than 10,000, yes, in this case it is. So you can see it is assigned to CMD now. Same purchase order number. So as a CMD also allowed. And I approve it. So once a purchase order is approved, now let me go back to this. So this becomes approved, a finalized document. It's a finalized document.
Okay.
You can take a printout and attach it to email and send it on WhatsApp or whatever fashion
However, you
email.
want to do.
Yes. Or if required, you can email right via system. You click here, and the same purchase order is attached here. You can define a predefined template here, and you can send the email right from this.
Okay.
Okay. That also can be done, and then there are additional options available here. You can duplicate it next time. You can see the receipt against this purchase order, so pending items, etc. Okay, so assuming now this purchase order has gone to supplier and material comes up after 10 days.
Yeah.
What happens is the person responsible for inventory at the warehouse level.
Okay.
Now let me give a brief background on the inventory module. We have a ability to define, we have seen the atom types, we can define categories, we can create. We have a warehouse master, we can have n number of warehouses created. This is
Okay.
okay, and you can have a warehouse based access to user, etc. So I have these warehouses. At any given point of time, I can go to the current stock, select the warehouse, and I can take a look at all the items in that warehouse. And I
Okay.
can require, I can search the items. Like I'll search item 1 for time being. So this is sample item 1, which I already have 32,000 quantity. Now I will do a receipt inside this. This is my current stock here. So whenever material comes, I'll do a stock receipt. I'll come here and say I'm creating a new stock receipt.
Yeah.
I can create a new stock receipt. And as I did earlier, I can go ahead and type all the items that I'm taking the receipt of. The other option is you are doing a receipt against a purchase order. So you can click on a purchase order, it will show you open purchase order.
And you can directly make it.
And yes, the complete, I select this 45 number purchase order in the receipt, and it gets pre-populated, which supplier it is coming from, what were the item, and if you have a due quantity purchase order quantity, only the due quantity is copied here. Suppose you do multiple GRN against the same purchase order, then it will have only the remaining items coming here.
Okay.
Okay, so right now, of course, it's the equivalent amount, so and everything is pre-populated. I'll go ahead and I'll just save as a draft. Before you do a complete, it's a draft mode, there's no change in the system. This is just a draft document. You can have a approval setup that somebody reviews the material, whether it is of a required quality or not. So you can have a submit button here. It can go for approval. You can select which warehouse you are taking. I'm keeping the default warehouse.
All of that.
Yeah, all of that, and I'll quickly go and just approve it now. But you'll take a physical look and then approve as a QC manager I have assigned here. So it gets approved, and the moment it is approved, you will have all the items updated in the warehouse as receipt approval completes. So if I go to the inventory, go to the current stock and select item 1, there was 30. This was the quantity, 32,528, and the 100 quantity is what we took. So now we have 628 against
Okay.
this. This is how you have an item getting added appropriately. If I go and drill down, we automatically maintain that this is the total quantity in warehouse, 32,000. But how about when I purchased, at what prices I purchased? So there is an automatic batch ID created for each. This was the batch ID that gets created today. A minute back, this 100 quantity got added, and this is how I have a total 32,000. If I take a look at this batch ID, it tells me against which purchase order I did it, what stock receipt I did it, what is my average cost per unit for this batch ID. And then your overall moving average cost for all these 32,000 items, which is here, 12 rupees is the average. Okay, so this is how we have a stock coming in. I'll take a step forward and suppose supplier sends you the invoice, so you can book that invoice. Right?
Yeah.
And put the invoice in the system again, same receipt, GRN, purchase order. Again, I have an option to enter supplier, his invoice number, etc. Item.
And you can just create it.
Create just, yes, I'll do it against a PO, and it will pre-populate the complete detail from this. All I have to do is put his invoice number, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Invoice
Supply
date.
invoice.
Yes, and once that is done, I can say what is my due days. If I select this, then it will appropriately change my payable date. So I'll select 30 days, which makes me 4th of March is my payable against this. So I'll go down, save as a draft. I can attach the scan copy if required here, to the files as shown earlier, and then I can submit it for approval. Of course, it will go to the approval and it will get approved. I'll go and approve it immediately just to see the effect. All approvals. Approved. Okay, it's approved by purchase manager, and now the moment the bill is approved by appropriate people in the accounting, it will put an entry as a payable on particular date.
Yeah, payable.
So this is the payments to make list, and this is the amount of our purchase order. You'll see 15,855 as payable here.
Okay.
And probably there was a reverse charge here, so GST is not included in this. That's why that amount less. Okay, this is a reverse charge mechanism payable because supplier was not registered. Okay, but you can see this payable here. Now, whenever you make a, and you can see his ledger in the accounting. Supplier 1, and I can see this amount here as payable. This is the total outstanding to that supplier. So now let me take a break and show you what we did. I think this is what people call procuremental payment. Complete flow can be managed in this. So
Yeah.
what we did, we raised as a purchase, we raised the purchase order here. Then it
Yeah.
came to the inventory module.
Yeah.
Seamlessly it is integrated, and then
It
we
is
repeated a payment, and then it went to the account.
payables. Yeah.
Yeah. But if I am adding one more step, suppose you have a big operation team who decides to purchase or not purchase, and purchase or the purchase team does it, then you could have a PR created by somebody else, purchase requisition created by somebody else. Please
Okay.
go to market and purchase this. Then that could have been created by operations team.
Correct.
Okay, so I'm adding one step ahead of purchase order. That also can be automated, and then purchase team goes to the market, does the review and purchases, issues purchase order.
Yeah.
So this is how end to end we have the first part. People call in the language of ERP call something called as MRP to procurement to pay kind of module.
Yeah.
Okay, and we saw that. Any question on that right now?
No, it's good.
All right, so I'll go back and show you the other side of consumption. What happens is now, suppose you sell this as it is. Let's take your trading part first. Suppose I sell this to somebody. I create somebody request sale. I'll create a invoice here. You can, we have a dispatch and invoice as separate documents. Suppose you have B2B customer, you keep dispatching against their purchase order. Do you get a sales order from your customers? The purchase order? Uditji, you are on mute again.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello?
yeah, I can hear now. I think you went on mute.
Bluetooth, yeah.
Okay, so back. I was asking, do your customer give you purchase orders, or you
Yeah.
directly?
No, the customer will give me sales orders basically.
Okay.
They don't. We just create sales orders. We don't get purchase orders from them.
Okay, perfect. And then we'll follow that step.
Yeah.
As your salesperson can punch in a sales order here.
Yeah, correct.
We have the other flow now. So I go here and I'm creating I have a customer master again. So
Okay.
I type, I have one customer here. And I have to deliver in particular date. If you, this is optional, they may not give you purchase order, but if they give, you can track that here.
Okay.
And you can see you have an order called sample 1. They have asked for 1000 at the rate of so. And if you notice right now, you don't enter a lot of data. All
Yeah,
while
it's all created by the item master.
correct, and I'm just doing a lookup, so there are no chances of making error or difficulties of these.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I have this kind of here. So this is how I create a purchase order. Same the way we created purchase. So this is a sales order entered by a person. There is no approval on this, and that's why I don't see a submit button. But I
Yeah.
decided to myself now.
Okay.
And this option only comes if there is no approval. Because
Okay.
whether you want to sell to this customer or not also should go through approval at some point.
Okay.
So I have a sales order created in the system. This is my sales order number, 12 number sales order. So what happens is, suppose I want to dispatch material against this. I have a shortcut here. I can create a stock shipment against this document. Let me create a the other way around. You inform this to inventory. They go to the inventory module and create something called as stock shipment. New stock shipment. You select the purchase order. This is our purchase order to this customer, Sarkar customer, and these are the items. Okay, you can
Okay.
select, choose from warehouse. So I'll select, I'll keep this warehouse. I can save this in a draft mode,
Right.
and I will finalize myself. Immediately, this 15,000 quantity will get reduced into from this. Whenever I mark this
Stock
as final.
in hand, basically.
Yes, your stock in hand gets reduced because this is a shipment done to the customer. And now, let me go and show you this item in the default warehouse. Item 1. And it got reduced, 32,000 something got reduced by 15,000, and this is what you have in. And this automatically will pick up the batches first in, first out basis, older batches.
Okay.
So
Okay.
now shipment is created. Now you also want to create an invoice for this. So then against this shipment, you can you have an option to create an invoice. Create an invoice. From sales order, we created a shipment. Dispatch. From dispatch, I'm creating an invoice. Again, payment days can be marked. All the details will come here. And then I'll just go ahead and save this invoice in draft mode. And again, you can have an approval on invoice also, but there is no approval here, so I'll approve it myself. The moment I approve this invoice, it will make an appropriate entry of 68,000 as a receivable in accounts.
Yeah.
This is an appropriate date. So yes, this is the entry 68,088 as a receivable on 18th of Feb, because 15th date was the margin of this. And you can see his ledger. So subtract. So this is the against your invoice. This is the amount and this total outstanding. Suppose he makes a payment. So what
Okay.
you can record? I'll just skip that part. So you have this receivable. Yeah. You can go and create a payment received record against this. So you click a single click, it will launch this invoice, these details, and you can select which account this is received into. I selected my ICICI bank account, and I'm being received against invoice number whatever 37. This invoice number.
Okay.
I'll report this as a payment received. The moment this is marked as payment received, this gets converted into paid record.
Okay.
So this is now due amount is 0 on this. And if you see the ledger of that particular customer, you will see that amount being credited. Yes, only 17,000 is due, and you have this as marked as receipt. Weekly receipt number 27. Okay, so this is how we completed the sales part also. So you have a sales order, you convert it into dispatch. Dispatch gets converted in invoice.
Correct.
Invoice entry into this, and you have a your stock adjust. Now what will happen? So we did a sales case. Sometimes you need to move the material between warehouses. You can do that.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's a shipment only, but this is shipment not to customer but to other warehouse. By default, it says select
It's stock transfer, basically.
stock transfer. Yes, between warehouses. So I'm saying I want to transfer it to Pune East warehouse. What I want to transfer. Let's transfer that 2,000 from those 17,000 of this item.
Okay.
Select an item. It shows me the in-hand quantity. I'll say I want to transfer 2,000 quantity, and this transfer document, just because GST it's mandatory, we have given the additional details, like you can put GST detail on top of it, but there's no impact. This is just for printing purpose.
Okay.
Okay, so I created a dispatch of this item 1 from one warehouse into the other warehouse, 2,000 quantity. Once this is marked, you can mark this as finalized. So what it will do is, in single shot, it will reduce from a source warehouse and add it into the destination warehouse.
Okay.
Okay, if you have a godowns close by, but if you are transferring something from Noida to say Ahmedabad, probably you want to mark it as a transfer.
Yeah.
So what it will do, it will reduce the stock from your source warehouse immediately, and this shipment will be in a status called as in transit.
Okay.
So once it is transit, you can create a receipt against this in transit shipment at the destination warehouse.
Okay.
Okay, so for time being, I'm marking as a finalized. So
Okay.
marked as a finalized, and you will see in current stock your source warehouse
Yeah.
one getting reduced by 2000 quantity, and you have only 15,000 coming now.
Hmm.
Okay,
Correct.
and yeah, this is how you can do a stock transfer between this. Now, I think we saw very high level processes. There's a lot of detail that you can work out. In current stock, I want to see by item, I can type item name and it will show me each. I want to see by certain category. I want to see the product of certain category. I'll be able to see only those category of product. I want to see by particular document that can be done. I have many reports, like
Reports.
so many, yeah, so many reports are common, but we can have a custom reports created, and I'll show you
Okay.
one of the report. I think that will sum up everything that you need. We have a report called action report. What it shows me is you can pick a date range, and it will tell you all the material that was across warehouses, across
Okay.
items, in particular date, like
Okay.
this. I took this date. So date range is one. And what format it is shown? It is shown in the format that what date, time, which warehouse, what item,
That code.
CR it got credited, what was the before quantity. So like I have a 4090 in Pune East warehouse, 2000 quantity got added CR. And what is the
Okay.
after quantity? Now I have 6090 here. And because of a shipment number, so and so. On the
Okay.
shipment, I have all the detail, who created it, who approved it, etc. Okay.
Yeah.
And same is the case, the same atom, it is also reporting that from default warehouse, it got reduced. 17,000 was there, this got reduced, and now I have only 15,000. It's the same shipment method.
Okay.
So this is how you will have any atom changed quantity by 0.5 also, it will get recorded here. And then
Okay.
further you can drill down. You can of course drill down it by date range, but I want to only see items moving from particular warehouse. So it will show me only the warehouses. And see, I want to see at particular atom or particular category that I can use. I can say only atom one movement between that range in this warehouse. That can be done. So you can see only
Okay.
atom one movements happening here.
The basically the every shipment, every product can be tracked over a range.
Correct. Yes. So audit trail of that movement is tracked in this, and I think this is the crux of your warehouse management and all, because
Yeah. True.
you should have an audit of that, where when it was purchased, where it went,
Well.
who did it.
Yeah.
So there are so many such reports.
Yeah.
You can categorize, filter, and all. But let me show you one of the use case I think will be useful for you. You said you do a value addition in some cases, right?
Yeah. Like we repack it and sell it, and we do cleaning and filtration basically.
Okay, correct. So you can literally use our production module for that. Although it's not a full-fledged production, but it is some kind of processing you are doing. And for that line of business, you can use this. I'll show you how this can be used.
Okay.
We have a concept called as bill of material, BOM. Suppose you do a
Right.
repackaging, there is some raw material, right?
Yeah.
And then you need some items. Suppose you want to repackage 100 kg of wheat, okay, of
Yeah.
certain category, into 1 kg of packs.
Yeah. Correct.
Then you need that bag, you need your labels.
Yeah.
You literally can define that in the system.
Yeah. 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 I know that, but I for a fact I know it is not useful for me in the starter because it's a
Got it.
new startup.
Got it. Not required initially, yes. But once you
Yeah.
scale, probably you can utilize that. And then when
Yeah.
you do that in the system, you will be able to issue the raw material, and it will give you the output. It will do the auto calculation of costing.
Correct.
And in and out will happen automatically the way we saw for receipts and shipments. Whenever you issue production into certain plan, it gets recorded there. That issued against a production plan, then it will reduce quantity. When a finished products are created, they will come into FG warehouse, etc.
Yeah.
So maybe not required now, but in future, that could be of help for you.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Yes, sir. So I think that is the high level. I think we have so many things to look, but I think this is the high level, just to give you an idea.
Okay.
Any questions on this?
No, no, it looks fine. So tell me one thing, all the modules are included in the pricing of the software.
Yes, we don't have a module-based pricing or feature-based pricing. It's just a user-based. You can use all or one module. It's up to you.
Okay. We can use everything. Can you show me something in SCM, supply chain management?
Okay, so it's not a very full kind of a SCM, but what we have, I'll tell you what we have. Okay.
Okay.
So we have something you can record your distributor. You can create. I have 10 distributors, and you can have a distributors of distributor created.
Okay.
What will happen once you create a distributor? You can give access to this. We have something called as distributor portal, where they'll be able to see their own stock. They'll be able to create their own quotations. Like this is the distributor portal. And they will be able to request the material to you. Meaning they can put a material requisition. Whenever they send a material requisition, you can see it here. And against this material requisition, you can issue the stock. In that case, it will automatically reduce the stock from your warehouse and add it to the distributor's warehouse.
Okay.
And you will be able to then literally see the distributor quantity in your inventory here. Only thing, you'll have one distributor, like I have distributor 1 created there that you saw. I can see that distributor stock here.
Okay. So tell me one more thing, like you have distributor portal link. Do you have a customer vendor portal link also?
Yeah. So right now we don't have that, but we are working on that. So we are coming with a vendor portal, supplier portal and customer.
So yeah, because that is one of the key features what I have not seen in your software. I've seen in some other software where where the customer can access their account statement, outstanding payments. They can order the product on the portal. All of that can be done.
So I'll tell you what, because it's a user based. So those users, even one customer, one account, you give that costs, and that's why so far we've never focused on that. But as I said, we are already building that.
Yeah, because it is like it can be 1,000 customers also. That they'll charge you for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, how many ever users you want. The customers don't count as users. They're just accessing the portal.
Got it. Actually, in software, on the cloud based or any software,
Yeah.
the user is the one who consumes the software resource, server resources. Okay.
Okay.
So in this case, of course, that will be a portal. Of course, it is not as full-fledged as your end users are, like inventory person. But then also, if the customer comes, logs into system, then server has to wake up and answer that supplier.
Yeah. Right.
Do the database page, do the report running. So it literally.
Yeah. Absolutely. So that is one thing which is lacking in the software. What I've felt, everything else is okay. It's pretty nice. But as a trader, I would like to have that in my software for various reasons. Because they can easily order, track their shipment also, and they also have the account statement. They know what they have paid,
Yeah,
then
what is
the invoice against the reference number, whatever it is, and they have the whole data in their hands basically.
right? Correct. Yes.
And apart from that, it gives the company also a strong relationship with the customer.
Right.
So that's one thing.
Yeah, and it makes things easier. That
What?
otherwise customer will order it by email, and where was that email? Who ordered
Yeah,
what quantity?
it's a tedious job. This is
Yeah,
again web based. It is everything is automatic, and it
right,
is directly linked to the ERP. So
right,
as soon as the customer places an order, it goes for approval. As soon as we approve it, it can be dispatched accordingly.
right. Yes.
So what is the pricing of this software?
It's a 15,000 per user per year, and there's a minimum 10 user.
It is 50,000 per user per
No,
year.
no, 15, 1 5.
15.
Yes, 1 5.
The pricing is also really high.
Yes.
Because no, I'm not telling you just like that. I have good knowledge about this. I've been doing this from past 1 week.
Okay, yeah, you might have seen multiple product, correct? Yes.
Yeah, I've seen multiple products which see everything. Every software doesn't have everything. Okay, I agree on that. This software might have some few things which the other software will not cater to.
Not have, correct, yeah, correct.
So, but the pricing, what you are telling me per user is definitely very high.
Okay, I'll tell you what. There are two options here. If you buy your own infrastructure, it runs on the Google Cloud. Okay,
Okay.
and the pricing includes something called as Google's availability. That's the Google's price also included in this. That
Okay.
includes automatic data backup, 24/7, or maybe 99.99% SLA with a
Okay.
payback guarantee. Payback guarantee in the sense, if it is down for half an hour, Google literally pays back on that.
Okay.
Okay, plus that data security and all. So I'll tell you, like normally, if you have a system, you need to take a physical backup of that system regularly.
Yeah.
Here on the Google, we have an automatic backup of every record that you save immediately across zones. Give an
Okay.
example. The moment you save a purchase order, it gets saved into our local zone called Mumbai, but
Okay.
that also gets saved into Dubai and Singapore automatically.
Okay.
So that Google has done tremendous amount of automation and all. So there's no manual intervention. There's a guarantee of always availability, highest level of security that nobody will be able to breach into this, etc. And that's
Yeah.
why the Google Cloud charges are little higher. But if I take any normal cloud provider and their machine, it will be 10 times cheaper. But of course, all those factors will not be there.
Correct. That's true. I agree on this.
Yeah.
Other people won't have automatic backup,
No.
all of that. That security breach guarantee, the server down payment. Correct.
Right.
All of this won't be included.
Right, yes. And not only that, so what happens about the product, let me tell you. This is maybe priced somewhere in between. It is not neither low nor higher. If you take a product like SAP, there probably you pay around, I mean, that cost you in crores actually. And it's the same software that helps to run the business.
Yeah.
So yes, it depends on what kind of product, where it is running, what
All of
assurances
that.
are there, right? What support is there? Now, let me tell you, there are some products where you can go online and buy yourself, but you will not get the ability to talk to someone if there is an issue. There's no
Yeah,
phone.
the technical
You can
support.
tell them. Yeah, so that support part is also important. So these are the two major factors that here we have a dedicated support that you can pick up a phone and talk to us. We can work together, get on the call. So that costs a lot. And the product, and up to the back, everything that we are using Google, we are not using any other provider.
Okay, fine, Mr. Ganesh. It was a nice demo. Give me like few days time. I'll wrap up all my demo sessions basically I've planned for.
Yeah.
So and after that I'll get back to you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.